Today I want to speak about how weak boundaries are affecting your profit, affecting the money you have in your personal bank account and the bottom line in your business. So let's dive in. My name is Annette Ferguson. I am CEO of Annette & Co, UK-based accounting firm. I am a chartered accountant, certified profit first professional, and a transformational mentor. And ultimately, we help business owners live the life they want to live and experience the freedom from their business that they want to experience. Today, I am speaking about boundaries and how they link to profit and what you can do about that. Because the thing is, there are some ways that boundaries quite obviously affect profit, but there are some ways that lack of boundaries leak in and they affect the bottom line, whether or not you're conscious of them. So those are the things that I want to speak about today. So some of the very obvious things that can affect your bottom line in your business, that will affect your profitability, the amount you take home, which of course has a knock-on effect on your entire life, is when you don't hold boundaries around call times. So let's say you have a half-hour slot booked in with a customer or client. And let's say that you get to the end of that half hour and you let it overrun by 5 minutes or 10 minutes or 15 minutes. That is you not sticking to the boundary of the call. If you arrange the call for a 30-minute call, then the call needs to be a maximum of 30 minutes. If you're not sticking to that boundary, what effect that has on your business is it means that you can't book in back-to-back calls because you know you're flaky with your end times, which means that you can't service the clients or the sales calls that you want to do, or you can't finish on time and go home on time because you're flaky and your day just rolls on. It also shows your clients that you can't actually stick to what you say. You can't stick to your word. All of those things are going to affect your profitability and bottom line. If you can't slot in the number of people you need to see in a day because you don't end your calls on time, that means you service less clients and take in more money. Similarly, if you're on a sales call and you said it will end at a certain time and it ends after that time, how can that person trust your word when it comes to you saying that you can service them and do what you say you're going to do? Because you can't even finish the call at the right time. That is probably going to be one that comes up subconsciously for the other person and not necessarily consciously, but you can see how that will affect their decision to work with you and hence affect the outcome of your sales call, hence affect whether or not they sign up with you. So all these things are linked. The boundaries are linked to you signing the client or to a client continuing to work with you. Let's say that you have a client and they pay for an hour a week with you. And every time the clock overruns, do you think they're going to be happy coming back time and time again, knowing that they can't rely on the finish time for the rest of their day? I certainly wouldn't. I would get annoyed no matter how good the call was. I would be annoyed if it kept overrunning and people weren't able to stick to the times that they said because it would impact the rest of my day. I would more than likely look for another service provider instead that can slot into my calendar in the way that I expect this person to be able to. Okay, so you can see how these things are starting to affect you getting clients and you keeping clients. They are starting to affect how many people you can service, and they are affecting what your day looks like as well. So if you are in a constant state of calls overrunning and not managing to finish on time, that puts stress on you. It means you're always turning late to the next appointment. It means that your day ends up rolling potentially into your evening, and it affects your family life as well. That in turn is going to affect your motivation to show up for the business. It's going to dampen that and therefore dampen your energy, thereby meaning that you turn up in not a peak state, therefore impacting what you deliver to your clients and how you are on sales calls. You can see that these are all linked. So at the moment we're speaking about a boundary around your time. Okay, but if you have weak boundaries anywhere in your life and in your business, they will show up in your bottom line because we can't silo ourselves. The time one is a really easy one by way of an example to explain to you because it's very, very obvious, the link with the time example. But if you have weak boundaries around your personal relationships, for example, those weak boundaries are going to show up in your business as well. You are not going to only have weak boundaries in one area of your life. Our lives don't work in this silo. Our lives don't get put into little neat boxes. So when an area shows up in one area, it's going to leak its effects into the other areas of your life as well. We can't compartmentalize this stuff. It all flows together and it all links together. We have one consciousness. So if our boundaries are weak over here, it therefore means they are weak in our business as well. And it may not be quite so obvious in our business, but I can guarantee you that if you can spot anywhere in your life where your boundaries are weak, they are going to be affecting your business and your bottom line. So what I urge you to do is audit your life. Go through every single aspect of your life and ask yourself, where are my boundaries weak? Where do I not have strong boundaries in place? And by the way, what I don't mean by strong boundaries is I don't mean rigid. I don't mean boundaries that have been put in place through pain and suffering. I mean strong boundaries coming from a sovereign type energy. I don't mean them coming from a hurt energy. Okay, that's what I mean by boundaries. So understanding where in your life you have weak boundaries, or indeed boundaries that have been put in place through push and hustle and through rejection and through pain and suffering, and with a kind of FU type energy. Those types of boundaries need sorted as well, because they're also not in the place that's going to support the deliverance of cash to the bottom line for you, and is going to support your business's growth and taking it to where you want it to go over its lifetime. So I hope that you are going to go away and do that exercise. I highly, highly recommend it. If you are watching on YouTube, I would love if you want to subscribe to this channel. Make sure you turn on the bell so that you know next time I go live. Thank you so much for tuning in. Until next time.